welcome to tonight's broadcast. It's going to be a great one. We're going to be talking about something that's super exciting for me. Let me get this other camera. We're broadcasting live on YouTube and Facebook. So if you can invite your friends or please share this video, this is going to be great. So as you're coming on, please let me know where you're listening in from. They're on the other video. I tell you what, let me just verify something real quick because it shouldn't be another video. Just bear with me real fast, please. We're going to get started here real quick. Well, I hope they come on over to this video. For some reason, I can't stop it on the other side. Well, we're going to get started. I want to respect everyone's time for showing up. I meant to be on time and went to launch. And let's see, I'm just going to delete this other video and maybe it'll kick them off and they'll come back. So all right. Well, tonight we're going to be talking about this question. Thank you very much, Heather. I appreciate your help on that because I have no idea what happened. I was watching one of my mans, Dave, tonight. He was doing a broadcast. The internet just froze up on him. So sometimes technology just doesn't give us everything that we're looking for. But tonight we're going to be talking about this question. Do you feel financially screwed without Vaseline? And really, you know, I've come to appreciate some old school rap music. Take me back to the 90s. You know, I've watched the movie Straight Outta Compton a few times. And I think about the movie, I mean, not the movie, but I think about the song No Vaseline that Ice Cube did. And I was talking with someone the other day, and the conversation was just about the difficulties in life right now. There seems to be challenges that many are going through. And the question just kind of came up. It just feels like we're being screwed with no Vaseline. And I was like, you know what? We're going to talk about that Thursday night because it is so important. It's critical. I don't know how you're doing with your 2017 goals that you may have set for yourself earlier in the year or last year, I hope. So we're now at the point in time of the year where January 1st is not when you want to be planning for your year. You want to be starting your year January 1st and your plans implemented. So tonight, what you're going to receive out of this broadcast, I'm going to discuss the 4 reasons that are stopping people from achieving many of their goals. I've got people messaging me. Yes, we're on. Yes, go to my wall. And I'm going to leave you tonight with 3 amazing solutions that I want you to start thinking about so that you can start implementing in your life immediately. So I don't have to deal with all the problems. You understand the challenges that you may be facing, loved ones may be facing. You know, I work with a lot of mothers, single moms, and I see the struggle every day. You know, do I pay for this benefit at work? Do I take a pay raise? Or do I take the lesser amount of money? There's so many different obstacles that moms are dealing with, single parents are dealing with. I don't want to just give all the love to the moms because we've got some rock star dads that are killing it out there, loving on their kids and just being amazing fathers. But even parents, 2-parent families, there's a lot of goals and there's a lot of stress in society today. This is not a political conversation. I'm going to give you guys some real, raw, genuine, factual information. So get your pen and paper, write this down. We're going to go through these 4 obstacles really quick because we want to get to the 3 solutions. Because when you understand what's holding you back, then you can overcome with knowledge with the solutions. Fair enough? So if you have questions, drop those questions in the comments below. So, obstacle number 1. It happens. It's the silent income killer. It is going on all the time, and that's inflation. You know, if you look back years ago, price of eggs, price of a loaf of bread, price of a gallon of milk. Think about what when you were at home living with your parents, what you could have bought that for versus how less a dollar stretches today. That's called inflation. Think about gas. Now, gas here lately is hovering in our area. I live in St. Petersburg, Florida. I don't know where you're at, but let me know where you're listening in on or what's part of the country you're listening in. But you know, around $2.20, $2.30 a gallon. So when you think about it, 20 years ago, how much could we have purchased for that same $1? All right. Now, inflation, what's really crazy is how water is more costly than a gallon of gas when you look at a gallon of water. So actually, you can buy a gallon of water less expensive than buying a 16-ounce bottle, because when you buy enough 16-ounce bottles to make a gallon, look how much it costs you. So individually, you can buy them in a pack. It's a lot different. So inflation is one of the things that's killing us. So when you think about planning ahead for your future, is it going to cost the same to live today as you're planning for in the future? So your income that you're making today, think about at retirement, is that going to be enough to live when you're ready to retire? So that's number 1. This next one, taxes. Now, fortunately, we live in Florida. I live in Florida, and a lot of people that are watching live in Florida, but think about where you live in your state and think about the tax rate that you pay. Now, if the average American family is in a 30 to 33% tax bracket, I want you to think about it like this. What that simply means is that you go to work January, February, March, and April for free. And then May, June, July, August, September, you're taking care of other obligations, all your bills. And then October, November, December, you may get to keep some of that money, but then that has to go to your children. So that's the reality of what is happening to a lot of people, okay? Taxes. The next thing that affects people is because you spend so much on taxes, then we have to rely on credit cards or borrow money or payday loans. I have never seen, I live in, like I said, St. Petersburg, and in this community, Tampa, also, there's a business called Scott Loans. And my goodness, they are on every major street, almost every major intersection. Payday loans. And so many people will spend that 10% to just get by to the next check. Think about that. Spending 10%, 30 days, amortized over a course of a year is a lot of interest. Someone is making money on your money. Imagine if you had money sitting in an account or money working for you that was making that type of a return. What would your life look like then? So because of taxes, we have to go into debt to overcome what happened by the amount of taxes that comes out of one's paycheck. The fourth thing is because of all of those scenarios affecting you, then that oftentimes leads to what I call less than ideal cash flow decisions. I mean, I get it. I get frustrated and I make bad choices. When I'm stressed, I make bad choices when it comes to eating. That's reality. Many of you may know that I've been on a weight release journey since 2015, September 1st. And I've had great moments and I've had challenging moments. But my challenging moments have always came around financially strapped or financially stressful situations. So therefore, my body doesn't react to all the positive things that I was doing because I allow myself to make bad decisions. Well, think about this. Sometimes we can be lazy. How many times have you ever gone to an ATM machine just to get a few dollars in cash of your own money? But you don't go to your bank's ATM machine or any affiliation network. A lot of credit unions have affiliations. And you spend that $2 or $3 just to get your own money. So you go to grab a 20 and you spend $3. Do you see the amount of money you're losing on your own money? I call that less than ideal cash flow decision. What about when we have late payments or we have NSF fees on our bank accounts? When you add up NSF fees over a course of a year, if you go back through a bank statement, I hope the audience I'm talking to cannot relate to NSF fees. But if you're like me, I've had those. So I'm not above talking about that. And I get very upset with Wells Fargo at $35 a hit. And you're like, wait a minute, this is crazy. Less than ideal cash flow decisions. So let's not hammer on all the problems, but I want you to keep in mind, those are the 4 major reasons that keep most families feeling financially screwed without Vaseline today. So let's talk about some solutions. I want you to start thinking about, is it possible that in your day-to-day activity, you may just be operating on rote? You get up, you go to work, you get your paycheck at the end of the week or every other week. They take the taxes out. You filled out a form that gave them permission to take the taxes out when you start at the job. You go to work, end of the year, you get your W-2, you file your taxes, you get this huge refund and you're excited about it. Now you plan what to do with that refund. We're going to pay off some bills that accumulated all the course of the year. So what I'm going to ask you to start doing is re-engineering and rethinking how you are approaching life. Because see, one of those less than ideal cash flow decisions also is affected by the interest rates you pay on your debts. Yeah. And why is that? Because of credit ratings. The interest or the amount of money you pay on car insurance, part of that is based on credit. The interest you pay on your mortgage, the interest you pay on your car, all of that is credit driven. That affects your cash flow decisions. So now what I want you to start thinking about are some of the provisions, and I want you to think about some of the things that you're hearing in the news. Again, this is not a political conversation, but I want you to be conscious, very, very conscious of the administration. And it's not just this administration. So again, do not take this conversation as political. I want you to think about how the tax code has been written in the United States for the last 30, 40, 50, 60 years. Who has benefited? Don't say the wealthy, because that's not the real answer. Yes, they do. But how did those individuals gain wealth? And so we go back and ask the question, who benefits from the current tax code as it is written today? The answer are investors and business owners. So now you may say, Eric, I got a job. I don't have time. That may be true. But if you want to get out of the position of feeling the negative effects or feeling the effects of the economy weighing down on you, here's how you know it's weighing down on you. I want you to take a piece of paper and draw a triangle or a pyramid. And I want you to put up here CEO, board of directors, CEO, management staff, supervisors, employees. I want you to ask yourself, where do you fall on that, in this pyramid? With that being said, you have the shareholders up here. Well, here's a company that you work for. Well, there are investors that took their money and they're not working at all. But all the work falls on all the people inside of this pyramid. But then most of the work falls where? On all of these people. Now, I want you to also look at tax bracket. Most of these people here, because of their being employees, are spending 25 to 35 or 40% or more of their income, depending on your state you live in, because they're employees. The tax code in the United States, and I want you to verify this. Please don't believe anything that I'm telling you tonight. Okay, I want you to verify this with your tax professional. The tax code for those that are employees pay the highest percentage of taxes of their income. So therefore, that 25 to 40%, depending on that range, let's just use 33 as an easy number. Remember how I said you go to work January, February, March, April, a third of the year goes toward taxes. So then the people that are the owners of the company, guess who gets the tax breaks? They get to write off all of the income or wages they paid all the employees. They get to write off the building. They get to write off all the expenses of the company. They get to write off all the copier paper. They get to write off the toner. They get to write off the phone lines. They get to write off cell phones. They get to write off lunches. They get to write off company trips. So when you take a company trip and the company takes you and they have a business meeting, guess what? They get to write that off. The investors, so the business owners, pay a different percentage because they get to deduct so much of the income that comes in off on taxes. So now the investor pays the least amount because they pay what's called capital gains. So those that are in the capital gains pay anywhere from 10 to 15%. And that's simply their money making money. The employees are taxed on their labor making money. So I wanted to give you that piece of information so that you would understand step one of the solution is be a business owner in this country. I don't care if you're an employee. I'm not telling you to quit your job or anything. I will never tell you to quit your job. But if you're not a business owner in this country, you are not going to get to participate in the benefits of capitalism the same way others are. You may have had friends call you up and say, hey, I have this great opportunity. And your reaction might be, Eric, is it one of those things? And Eric, probably, if I ever called you and invited you to something, I would probably say, yeah, it is. It's one of those things. Don't you want to save some money and make some money? What's wrong with you? I'll probably talk crazy to you because I understand the value of having a business. If you have one child and you do not have a business out of your home, you might want to call yourself a philanthropist because you're simply just giving money away. That's what Bill Gates does. That's what Oprah does. These people, they give money away. They get to a certain level and they give money back. Well, you can call yourself a philanthropist also because you're giving the money away. You're not keeping it for yourself and for your family. Yeah. Step number one is have some sort of business. Be a business owner. Step two, I want you to think about it. Get your credit strong. If it's already good, can it be better? If you're at a 750, can you go to 8? Can you go to 850? If you're at 5, you need to get it on up to 750. If you're at 4, you need to get it on up to 750. Here's why. Because you're, again, being a philanthropist. You are giving money away. You're deciding to pay more money in interest than you simply have to. Now, it's your money. It's your choice. But if you don't get your credit fixed, you're going to pay higher rates than credit cards, mortgages, auto loans, student loans, insurance. Yeah, you're just going to give it up with no Vaseline. Okay? No pun intended. Get your credit fixed. You want to talk about getting your credit fixed? I would love to visit with you. Inbox me if you have some questions. The third thing I want you to think about, besides, and this is along the similar lines of setting up a business, but I want you to start thinking about creating digital income. Yeah, what does that mean? That means money being made from the internet. Tonight, you're not going to buy anything. I have no links for you to buy, but I will make money tonight because this is being recorded online. It's being recorded directly to my YouTube channel. It's being recorded directly to my Facebook page. Someone will call me because of what they saw and heard on this video. If not tonight, tomorrow, next week, I get calls all the time from YouTube because I put out digital content. Now, this is one way of putting out digital content. I want you to start thinking about some of the dreams that you may have been suppressing. And I'm going to give you a few ideas of how you can achieve those. Tell me something you may like to do. Do you like to blog? Do you like to write? Are you creative? Well, today, I have the unique privilege of fulfilling a lifelong dream, and that is being a voiceover talent. But not only did I get to do voiceover, I got to be a video talent. Now, I shouldn't say that I've never been paid for video work because I make money from videos that I do all the time. But that's because it was my efforts. Someone hired me to be the voice and the face of participants of a training that they have created. And this is a writing course. When it comes out, I'm going to recommend that you put your hands on it because not only will it teach you about blogging and how to get your words written, how to structure your words and be found, and how to compete in this world of social media. This is a writing course that you can use your skills and talents to be hired by businesses so that you can write marketing perhaps for them. Yeah, absolutely. It's an incredible course. When I started reading the modules, I got to thinking, wow, I'm not doing that, I'm not doing that. And I love social media and I understand social media marketing. So I got a lot of benefit. Besides writing course, I want you to think about creating a digital product. Now, when I say create a digital product, think about things that you like or things that people like. People love their pets. They love their children. What if you had some sort of how-to guide? What if you had an ebook or a manual of some sort that people could purchase? And you were selling this online. You create it one time, you get into a studio, you create it, and then you just simply learn how to put a marketing budget behind that product. It's packaged up to where people can download it. And you sell that product, let's say for $47 or 57 bucks, 50 bucks, okay? And you sell 4 of those a day because you get trained how to do it. The average family in America today, average household income is around $50,000. What if you could make an additional $50,000 on the side by creating a product that all you have to do is put money behind? Once you figure out your ad campaigns that are working, and then you just feed the machine. Let me just give you some numbers. Let's say you sold 4 a day and you put $50 a day into your advertising budget. So you sold 4, you put 50 back, and you net 150. Well, multiply 150 times 7 times 52. you'll have over $50,000 in income on the side, besides what you're already doing on your job. So I share that with you because I want you to start thinking outside of the box to become creative. In this culture, in the information age that we live in, people will pay for information. People pay for me to help them with their credit. People pay to get the pain off of their back. Let me see. Colleen makes that comment. Y'all read what she said. And when you write off and then you can write off your entire home office. That's a very beautiful point. I want to take you back to when I said about the pyramid and the business owner writing off the expenses. That's on your job. If you are running a business from your home, you can do the exact same thing. Now, when I said those of you that have children, here's what I was talking about. This particular tax deduction is so unused by families today. Did you know you could hire your children in your home or family business? 6 to 18? Think about your kids that you have. You can go on to YouTube, and if I'll put this link in this video for everybody in these comments, and I'll put the link in the video comments on YouTube and Facebook. I'll make it easy for you. I did an interview with a CPA and attorney, the author of a book called What Your CPA Is Not Telling You. His name is Mark J. Kohler. This guy is out of Orange County, California, and he has been teaching tax strategy, corporate strategy, and then as an asset protection attorney, he teaches you how to protect your assets. The guy knows what he's talking about. But I interviewed him 4.5 years ago, and I had him break down how he hires his children. At that time, he had an 8-year-old daughter, two 12-year-old daughters that were twins, and a 17-year-old son. And he broke down how he put those children to work, and he writes off $20,000 to $25,000 a year employing his children. Folks, think about the expenses you put on your kids in their cheerleading, in their band, in their social activities, and you're paying for that with after-tax dollars. If you flip that around and start making deductions of your mortgage, your rent, your children's expenses for employing them, put that into a custodial bank account and let them start spending their money on the items that you were already, it's the same money, you're just tracking it differently. Yeah. And so now you're starting to write off, but you're coaching your children. You're teaching them financial responsibility. Yeah. I could go on and on and on all the different deductions you could be taking advantage of. So now when we go back to those 4 problems, if you start taking advantage of the deductions, now that January, February, March, April, you can start getting all that money back now. So that now what it looks like, instead of going to work, Uncle Sam gets his money and then you get what's left over, you reprogram it. It's called flip the script or income shifting, to where you go to work, you spend your money on your business expenses first, because now your home becomes your business. Your eating out becomes part of your business. Your family vacations become part of your business. So you spend on your business, and now your taxable income is here, and now you pay taxes on what's left over. So now as you get to spend on your business, you see how you can have more money in your paycheck each month. Now you can put that toward those debts instead of waiting till when you get your taxes back. You can be putting it on your debts now because the interest is accumulating all year. So if interest is accumulating all year and you take this big tax refund and pay it off, you pay it down to here. But if you were paying on those debts all year, the interest wasn't going to accumulate as high. So now, if you felt like you have been financially screwed with No Vaseline, now the choice is, do you want to keep getting screwed over, or do you want to change it? If you're interested in any of those writing courses, or interested in questions regarding getting your credit fixed, or would just like to understand coaching and have training on how to correct that tax situation so that you can keep more money, reach out to me. I have no links for you to click on anything or purchase. Inbox me if you're interested in any of those items. I want to thank you. I've had a blast sharing this with you tonight. I hope it's been beneficial for you. Please share this video, share with others. If you have questions, please see your tax preparer or shoot me a question, inbox me, and I'll be more than happy to schedule some time to visit with you. Have a wonderful, wonderful night.